Ken, how are you?
Oh, Roland, Miss Ken, how are you today?
Oh, I can't complain. Did you get my message? Did you get my message?
Okay,
That last long message I left for you?
yes, I was out of town. Yes, I did get it, Miss Ken.
I can't even remember what I said on that message, but I think it had to do with these two little girls.
Yes, it did.
Okay. And that's what I'm calling about. And I talked to Mary Jo Kilroy, right?
I do.
Okay, and I do too because she was in the system, part of the system, and I had been working with her aide uh, prior to probably about 6 months ago. I had talked to her aide about some of the situations with FCCS, and she had asked me to go through the system, and I did because that's what I do. We do. And so we met with, as you know, we met with this person, Ken Cohen, which is their client's rights person at FCCS.
Yes.
We then met with Mr. Finner, who was second in charge of FCCS,
Yes.
and then we met with Mr. Sorrells, head of FCCS.
That's right.
I felt like we had done what we were supposed to do. The thing that bothers me is what's hurting me so deep inside myself is that this is akin to slavery to me. It's akin to kidnapping, and I don't understand why our public servants are letting this happen, and no one can explain it to me. No one can explain it to them, and I know damn they can't explain it to those little girls. I don't get it. Why are we allowing this to happen in our world today?
Um, with what I understand is going with the matter, you have certainly gone through from a protocol standpoint. Everything needs to be done, and all the challenges that need to be gone through. So, I think that to me is part of the process, and you've done that. I think the thing that concerns me at this point from a commission standpoint is that I'm not so sure what it is that we can do.
I just think that is the saddest part. I think that you guys become a commission and you leave out the human factor.
Well, I couldn't disagree with you more about that. On that point alone, I disagree strongly about that.
And I'm all, but they're not my children. And so, I'm asking you from the one human being to another.
Well, and I should tell you also, you may not have been aware of this, but I've been studying this organization for the last 2 years.
But you haven't had a case, and that's what makes this
such
an opportunity for us.
I actually did have a case.
Where they didn't let them see them for 3 years?
Wasn't the exact same one, but what brought us to the table was a complaint.
But however, there's such a thing as a complaint, and then there's such a thing as slavery and kidnapping and sold into slavery. I have never. You tell me that you had a case where for 3 years the family couldn't, no members of the family couldn't call, couldn't write, couldn't see them on monitored visits, couldn't have visitation. Then you got me. I swear for God I'll step back and say you've experienced this before.
No, ma'am, I can't. No, I can't say that because that was not the exact situation.
And that's my problem here.
It was not. It was not.
That's my problem here. We're talking about two little girls, 9 and 11 years old at the time, taken in a paddy wagon, and from that day forward, treated as if they were criminals, locked up, placed with strangers. I told Amy today, I said, you cannot think I am crazy or stupid. And she says, no, I don't. Because she I don't think you're crazy or stupid. I said, but let me say this to you. Those little girls had a life. You took them from a life because you thought that their father whooped them. And let's go with that. However, all your rules, all your regulations, all of your federal and state laws say that you have to reunify those girls with their families. And you have to do it in a certain period of time. When people just throw out all the rules, regulations, and they throw out all the federal laws, this is lawlessness. This is like the Ten Commandments. Remember the Ten Commandments?
Oh, sure.
That's why. He was saying, without them, we're lawless. They have rules. Those girls were supposed to have a plan to be back with the family. That's why I know this is a crime. Because it can't be explained. And the men that are blocking it are counting on the color of their skin. In other words, whatever stupid crap you attach to a black person is going to fly. And so don't matter about the facts. It doesn't matter that you took two little girls who lived together but no longer live together, two little girls who had a church home and a family but no longer have that, and you're telling me that it's better for them to be with strangers and the other one in an institution? You understand that? One is with strangers, 3 different foster families. In fact, Amy said, well, do they know them? I said, no, they're strangers, complete strangers. She's been to 3. The other little girl is in an institution because she wants to run. It's inhumane. If I could take this story out of my heart and mind, I would. But I'm saying to you, somebody's got to do something because you guys are the community relations. This is what kills our communities. Because if it were your children, you might do something. You might hurt someone. The anger might be overwhelming, but I find, and I have to commend what I call the Katrina victims, or people that people want to make invisible. I commend them for holding on to their tempers, holding on to their spirit, because I tell them, I don't know if I could do it if someone took my child. They took their children. Think about your daughter. If they took her at 9 and you could not talk to her, see her, and then they want to say to you, it's best that you not see. This is what they're telling this family. It's best that they not see you. What are you basing that on? They're doing it because they can. They're doing it because they're white. They have status. They have that institution. But they're not following any laws. No regulations. I've read it because that's what we do. I've read it, Mr. Stowe. There is nothing they are following. Somebody's got to help. Thanksgiving is coming. Christmas. The other little girl's birthday was just like last week.
Well, I guess the only thing I can share with you is that I was probably continue to be very watchful and very mindful of this whole piece in terms of what Franklin County Citizen Services is engaged in the process. But again, having studied it inside and out for over 2 years, Mr. Kent.
No, you studied the system. I'm talking about the cases.
But I guess what I'm saying is that, and yes, I am saying that. I am talking about the system. We did not necessarily talk about any specific cases throughout our study.
But that's what we need to do. We need to talk about specific cases because
we can't, Mr. Kidd, but we can't talk about specific cases because I don't have that jurisdiction. I can't.
But when she came to you, she was told that you had jurisdiction.
Ms. Kidd, I have jurisdiction over the agency, so we do have that. But I'm saying that I do not have the authority to open up a file on a child. I don't have that authority. I don't have that authority.
I'm not talking about opening up a file on the child. I'm talking about pushing the agency to stop the criminal act.
Well, again, Ms. Kim, that's what I was trying to share with you, that if they are acting outside of their system, I can deal with that.
Thank you. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the piece that I've shared with you that I have studied these last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I would know whether or not they were veering away from at least what the system says that they're supposed to be doing. What I cannot do, don't have authority to do, is actually open the individual file of the child.
No one's asking. This is what I told Amy.
Yes.
I'm not asking any of you guys to open up. I don't know what you can do.
Well,
but I'm saying to you is I don't want you to do nothing. That's my whole point. Everybody, this is what you guys keep saying. I don't know what I can do. And then, but do something.
Well,
do something. Even if you go to the prosecutor, help the family go to the prosecutor and take this on as a criminal complaint. Why not that?
But Ms. Kennedy, even before I can do that,
okay,
I have to make real clear in my own mind, and I've not been able to do that with this particular complaint, there's been a violation of their system and their process, their procedures. That's what I can actually...
Oh, my God. Come on. You cannot be... I mean, no, not that I don't have any problem, because that's what I did. That's what I do. So I don't have any problem with it. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't have any problem with you saying that. I think that what bothers me is that I've already done that, and your people haven't. I think that that's what bothers me. I've already, like when we met for the second time, I guess that was like the second time because she had already met with Mr. Semmel.
Okay.
And she had already met with them like 3 or 4 times. I think what bothers me is I'll come into a meeting, which I did with public servants, not just yours, and I sit down and we've got all the paperwork. And I show them the paperwork, they listen to the tapes, they listen to all the proof, they see all the information, and I say, well, do you want their rules and regulations and so forth? And Semmel said, no, I'll ask them for theirs. I'll make a request for theirs. So I thought that's what he was making a request for. Then when I talked to him, he said, no, I was making a request to see, well, why is it that you won't give them to them? I said, but they... Okay, but I thought you were making a request because I think that's what you should do. You should make a request for the rules and regulations. However, even if you don't get it from them, you have the ability to get on the internet and punch it in, and you can see it for yourself.
But what I'm sharing, Ms. Kennedy, and let me just share with you, Nelson Hewitt was also in this same study, and we purposely did not get involved in this case until it got to the very end, because we did not want there to be any kind of what's what I'm looking for here, any kind of conflict until it had been thoroughly investigated by someone who had no particular knowledge of the process or procedure of that agency. And what I'm sharing with you is that I've got a big binder here of every procedure and every department within that agency. That's what I was trying to share with you. And so...
Then how do you, if you know all that, okay, then this is where I'm confused.
Okay.
If you've already been studying the agency for 2 years,
yes,
as you guys are saying,
yes,
then you should already know that what they're doing is not following the process.
What I'm sharing with you is I don't agree with you in that regard. That's
okay.
I don't agree with that.
How, okay, what do you know about their process? I guess what I'm saying is, what do you know about their process that would make this situation with Ms. Stewart acceptable and, akin to their process? I guess that's what I'm asking you. You're saying that you studied this FCCS, which I'm assuming that you know their rules and regulations some about what they're supposed to do as far as foster care and things like that. And
right.
Okay, what rules and regulations have you seen that equate to this process here? Because everything I read says that this process is insane. What they're doing is totally out of their official capacity, totally out of what FCCS is supposed to do, totally out of it.